I am bringing you a video tutorial today as part of our tutorial bundle blog hop. As you know, I am part of a tutorial bundle group that publishes a new tutorial every month, and you can get that tutorial for free from me when you spend $50 in my Stampin' Up! Store, or you can actually purchase it for $15. So information on that is on my blog post, so make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you hop over and check all those details out. But today's blog hop is to showcase the products that we use in our tutorial. This isn't the project that's in the tutorial, it features the same products. So this month I chose That's the Tag bundle. It's a really cute one. It is in the 2017 Occasions catalog, and it's the stamp set with the coordinating framelits. So I created something really cute for your bundle tutorial this month, and I hope you guys like it, but I designed something else for you today. This is a shaped box using the framelits, and I just picked a happy birthday. You could pretty much use these for any occasion. I think they also look very Easterish, don't you? And I mean, you could fit anything in there. You could fit a little cupcake or some candies, maybe some little Easter eggs. They're really easy to make, and I think they have really big wow factor. So I decided my first two I made in colors Flirty Flamingo and Peekaboo Peach, and I kept them monochromatic. And to keep with that theme, I'm going to do the next one, the one that I create to show you. I'm going to use another in color called Emerald Envy. It's a bright, beautiful green color. All right, so let's get started. Let me move these out of the way. First, to create the box, you're going to need 2 pieces of Emerald Envy that are 4.5 by 5 inches long. And we're going to score them. The long side, on the 5-inch side, we're going to score at 2 1/4 and 4.5, and then turn it and score it at 1.5. Now do the same thing with your second one, and if you miss those score lines or the measurements, don't worry, I'm going to have them all listed on my blog for you. So make sure you hop over and catch those as well as the product information. All right, so here we have the 2 pieces, and we're going to put these in our Big Shot using this framelit that is part of the bundle. And it is the solid tag shape. I keep wanting to call it an egg. It just looks like an egg to me. But it is the solid tag framelit that comes in that bundle. Now I'm going to cut these at the same time because this is we're going to kind of eyeball where we put it. And if I cut them both at the same time, that will guarantee that I have them in the exact same place on both sides. So I'm going to place, actually I need to turn it this way. I'm going to place this on the largest section here on the outside. See how there's this little skinny tab here? I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use this one on the outside edge. And I'm going to place this framelit close to the top, but I want to make sure that it's inside the edge and that score line, and it doesn't go over the edge. Now I only want it to cut about 1/4 or 1/3 of the way down. I don't want to cut the whole thing. I want it to stop about right there. So the way that you do that with your Big Shot is you take your clear plate that goes on top and you lay it over just until the point where you want it to stop. So when I run it through like this, it's going to cut everything to here, and then as soon as this top plate runs out, it's not going to cut anything anymore. So you need to make sure it's straight. The magnetic platform on the bottom will help you keep your tag framelit in place. And I'm going to hold this down and roll it through slowly. And let's pull it out and see what it did. Perfect. See how that cut just to that line? That's exactly what we wanted it to do. All right, let's move the Big Shot out for now. Now you're going to take it and put it, and I'm going to keep it together because I want these to be identical. I don't want any measured or just a tad over. Sorry, one of the legs on my trimmer was sticking up. All right, I'm going to set it in here, and I'm going to look right here at the gutter. The gutter is where your blade goes through. And I'm going to, whoops, got to keep them together. I'm going to line this up the very end of the cutting mark right with the gutter. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to use my cutting blade, not the scoring blade, and I'm going to cut over. It looks like I went a little bit too far because I'm talking, but make sure you stop right there on that edge. Now I'm going to come over here and do the same thing. Let's see if I can focus and do it the right way this time. You can kind of feel it when it gets to that edge. It kind of is loose when you do that. So that kind of will help you guide your blade. All right, so let's see. My blade is somewhat dull, so it may not have cut all the way through the second one, which is fine. We can just snip it and get it exactly how we want it. Let's snip this off. Make sure that's even. Now over here, the only reason I believe that this didn't cut all the way through is because I need to replace my blades. They are getting quite dull. All right, let's see if I can sometimes just pull it right off. But this one I'm going to make sure it's nice and cut even. Okay, there we go. Now, we are going to do some cutting off of things on here. First off, we're going to cut this rectangle right here. We're going to cut that one off, get rid of it. Then we're going to cut this at an angle here and cut that at an angle there. Okay, and now we want to cut this score line up to that middle score line. And then we're going to cut the corners off of these tabs too. And the reason that I do that is sometimes when you're scoring and you are trying to get edges to match up in a box, for some reason they just may be a hair off and it makes things stick out. So if we cut off the corners there, that's going to prevent that from happening on the bottom. You'll see in just a second. All right, so do the same thing with your second one. I love this Emerald Envy color. I think it's very springy. I think it looks great with navy and with yellow. Daffodil Delight, excuse me, Daffodil Delight or Night of Navy. All right, there we have it. Now, before we assemble the box, we're going to do a little bit of decorating. And I decided to keep these boxes monochromatic. You have lots of choices in this stamp set and the framelits. You could do, you know, if you were doing these for school treats, you could do them in the school colors. Or if you were doing them as party favors, you could make them match the cake. For Easter, you could do the pastels that we associate with Easter. But I really like a monochromatic look, so that's what I decided to go with. And I'm using my piercer just to pop those out. You could also use your Big Shot brush, which I have sitting here, but sometimes I just like to use my piercer, which is fast and easy. It's kind of fun to pop those little guys out. If you had a bunch of tiny ones, you would definitely want to use your brush. All right, now one more thing we need to die cut, but we got to do some stamping on it first. We're going to use 2 stamps from the set. We're using this one right here and the Happy Birthday. And I'm going to use the Emerald Envy ink directly onto the Whisper White cardstock. And these are photopolymers, so you can see exactly what you're doing. Now, when I originally tried to make this, I tried to hand cut that out, which looks pretty easy, right? But it just, well, it looked hand cut. Honestly, it just didn't look as good as I wanted it to look. But if you'll notice right here on the Big Shot, when you cut with this, it automatically cuts that piece out. So, perfect. I'm going to use this, and it's going to actually cut that out with the negative image of the die cut. And then you could save the white one, that the little sunburst part, for another project. See how that just came out perfectly, and we've got one in there that I'll save for something else. All right, I think we're done with the Big Shot, so let's get that out of the way and let's assemble this. Now, if you are a follower of my blog or my videos, you know how I prefer dry adhesives. But on this, the best way to get it so that you don't see any adhesive or you don't get adhesive everywhere is to really use your fine tip glue pen. And the reason I don't prefer liquid adhesives is because I am a messy scrapbooker, paper crafter, stamper. I make a mess. So the liquid adhesives and we struggle. But I'm gonna try really hard to set this down where it needs to go and not move it too much. and you can set your block on there to hold it down. And the trick with the fine tip glue pen is to not put too much. I always put way too much. So if you just put a little bit, don't even hardly squeeze it, and put those little dots. Another trick that I have found with the fine tip glue is if you let it just kind of rest for a minute, let it get a little bit tackier, it doesn't slide around as much. But if you wait too long, then it dries out, which I've done too. It's just not sticky enough. So you kind of have to play with it and see. All right, so we'll let that one dry. We'll use this one as the front. So we're going to take this little piece and just put some fast fuse on it and slide it right in there. And then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to color in those windows. Very carefully, not to touch the sides of the front little die cut. And I really like this. I like doing this. I've been doing it quite a bit on my projects lately because it makes it look like there's glimmer paper behind there. And we don't have Emerald Envy glimmer paper. We only have glimmer paper in certain colors. So this kind of gives the illusion of having a glittery cardstock behind there in that same color. All right, there we go. All right, so now this one on the back, I just left like that. You could do the same thing, but I just didn't want to leave the back completely plain. You could leave it plain. I mean, it probably doesn't really make that big of a difference, but I went ahead and added a second one. All right, so put some fast fuse on that side tab. Make sure that you're lining up straight there and straight there. And then we're gonna fold it over and put some adhesive on this tab. I prefer fast fuse on my 3D projects. Tear and tape is a great choice also. I just like being able to roll it on, and fast fuse will not come apart. All right, so what I did, I just burnished those score lines, and I'm gonna line this up just like that. I'm gonna fold those tabs in, and I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the inside of the back tab, the back bottom tab, like that, and some adhesive right here on the inside of the front flap. I like to always have the front bottom flap folding over so that you have a clean edge. All right, so there's the main part of the box. So I was looking at the little holes that are created by the tag, and I was thinking I could do ribbon, but do I do ribbon on both sides? I couldn't decide. So then I thought, you know what? That hole is exactly the size of a lollipop stick. So let's make it a little basket. This is a lollipop stick that you can get in like, like in Walmart in the Wilton area where they have all the cake supplies, and you can get them in all different sizes, and I just cut it down to about 3 inches. And the last thing we're going to do is, again with a monochromatic theme, use the Emerald Envy 3/8 inch ruched ribbon and tie it up here towards the front. And you know, I really love when I can pull out the right color ribbon, the right color ink, the right color cardstock, and the right color patterned paper or designer series paper, and everything matches. And that is the beauty of Stampin' Up! Really, you know that you're going to be able to find the majority of things that you need in the colors that you use. All right, so it's just like a little carrier, a little treat carrier, and those would make great birthday party favors, I think, or table settings maybe, with a little thank you gift inside, a little thank you treat, some chocolates. All right, you guys, I hope you like it. Remember, this is part of a blog hop. We're promoting the March edition of our tutorial bundle, and my project this month does showcase, that's the tag, and it is a 3D project. I can't give you any more secrets away than that, but I will tell you it's a 3D project that uses this bundle. All right, let me know what you think, and make sure you hop along on our blog. Have a great day. Bye-bye.